So I was so tired, I nearly forgot to do the story. And then I thought, "Oh, I'm so tired, you'll be rubbish, don't bother doing it." And then I remembered it's the last chapter. And if I don't do it, somebody might find me and chop my head off because they're so cross with me for not doing the story. So I thought I'd better come. Um, I'm so tired. I feel like my eyeballs are going to pop out of my head. I've got to hold my eyes open. Has anyone else ever been that tired before? Like, see the white all the way around my eyes. It's a bit weird. Chapter 22. I'm pretty sure it's the last chapter. How are you feeling about that? Are you feeling a little bit sad? Or are you feeling a little bit excited? Because that means it's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I've had a request that after Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, if we're still going, that we have the glass elevator, which is the next the Adventures of Charlie and Willy Wonka again. I just want to throw that out there. As you can tell, I'm a little bit. So, should we just crack on with the story? Okay. So, what happened yesterday? Oh yes, the all the pheasants flying out of the pram, trying to get them in the car. Oh my goodness! All the pigeon, pigeon, all the pheasant poop all over the top of the car. And then they did, in the end, have a few pheasants left. They shared them around amongst their friends, which was really nice. So Charlie's going to tell us about his father in this chapter, I think, because it's called My Father. Okay, chapter 22. It was all over now. My father and I stood alone just outside the workshop, and suddenly the old place seemed to become very quiet. "Well, Danny," my father said, looking at me with those twinkly eyes of his. "That's that." "It was fun, Dad." "I know it was," he said. "I really loved it," I said. "So did I, Danny." He placed one hand on my shoulder, and we began walking slowly towards the caravan. "Maybe we should lock the pumps and take a holiday for the rest of the day," he said. "You mean not open up at all?" "Why should we?" he said. "After all, it's Saturday, isn't it?" "But we always say open on Saturdays, Dad, and Sundays." "Maybe it's time we didn't," he said. "We could do something else instead, something more interesting." I waited, wondering what would come next. When we reached the caravan, my father climbed the steps and sat down on the little outside platform. He allowed both his legs, the plaster one and the good one, to dangle over the edge. I climbed up and I sat down beside him, with my feet on the steps of the ladder. It was a fine place to sit, the platform of the caravan. It was such a quiet, comfortable place to sit and talk and do nothing in pleasant weather. People with houses have a front porch or a terrace instead, and big chairs to lounge in. But I wouldn't have traded either of those for our wooden platform. "I know a place about 3 miles away," my father said, "over Cobbler's Hill and down the other side, where there's a small wood of larch trees. It's a very quiet place, and the stream runs right through it." "The stream?" I said. He nodded and gave me another one of his twinkly looks. "It's full of trout," he said. "Oh, could we?" I cried. "Could we go there, Dad?" "Why not?" he said. "We could try tickling one of them, the way Toc Spencer taught us." "Will you teach me?" I said. "I haven't had much practice with trout," he told me. "Pheasants are more in my line, but we can always learn." "Can we go now?" I asked, getting excited all over again. "I thought we could just pop into the village first and buy the electric oven," he said. "You haven't forgotten about the electric oven, have you?" "But, Dad," I said, That was when we thought we were going to have lots and lots of pheasants to roast. We've still got the two Doc gave us, he said, and with any luck, we'll have lots more of them as the weeks go by. It's time we had an oven anyway. Then we can roast things properly instead of heating up old baked beans in a saucepan. We could have roasted pork one day, and when we felt like it, we could have roasted leg of lamb the next time, or even roasted beef. Wouldn't you like that? Yes, I said. Of course I would. And Dad, would you be able to make my favourite thing of all? What's that? He asked. Toad in the hole, I said. By golly, he cried. That'll be the first thing we'll make in our new oven. Toad in the hole. I'll make it in an enormous pan, just as my old mum used to, with the Yorkshire pudding very crisp and raising up in huge bubbly mountains, and the sausages nestling in between the mountains. Can we get it today, Dad? Will they deliver it to us at once? They might, Danny. We'll have to see. Couldn't we order it now on the telephone? We mustn't do that, my father said. We must go in personally to see Mr. Wheeler, and we must inspect all the different models with great care. All right, I said, let's go. I was really steamed up about it all now, about getting an oven and being able to have toad in the hole and roasted pork and stuff like that. I couldn't wait. My father got to his feet, and when we've done that, he said, we'll go off to the stream and see if we can find us some big rainbow trout. We could take sandwiches with us for lunch and eat them by the stream. That'll be a good day of it. A few minutes later, the two of us were walking down the well-known road towards the village to buy the oven. My father's iron foot went clink, clink on the hard surface, and overhead some big black thunderclouds were moving slowly down the valley. Dad, I said. Yes, my love. When we have our roasted pheasant supper with our new oven, do you think we could invite Doc Spencer and Mrs. Spencer to eat with us? Great heavens, my father cried. What a wonderful thought. What a beautiful idea. We'll give a dinner party in their honour. The only thing is, I said, will there be enough room in our caravan for 4 people? I think so, he said. Just. But we've only got 2 chairs. That's no problem, Danny. You and I can sit on boxes. There was a short silence. Then he said, but I'll tell you what we must have, and that's a tablecloth. We can serve dinner to the doctor and his wife. We can't serve dinner to the doctor and his wife without a tablecloth. But we don't have a tablecloth. Don't you worry about it, my father said. We can use a sheet from one of the bunks. That's all a tablecloth is, a sort of sheet. What about knives and forks? I asked. How many of those do we have? Just 2 knives, I said, and 2 forks, and those are all a little bit dented. We shall buy 2 more of each, my father said. We shall give our guests the new ones and use the old ones ourselves. Good, I said. I reached out and slid my hand into his. He folded his long fingers round my fist and held it tight. And we walked on towards the village, where soon the 2 of us would be inspecting all the different ovens with great care and talking to Mr. Wheeler personally about them. After that, we would walk home again and make up some sandwiches for our lunch. After that, we would set off with the sandwiches in our pockets, striding up over Cobbler's Hill and down the other side, to the small wood of larch trees with the stream running through it. And after that, perhaps a big rainbow trout. And after that, there would be something else after that. And after that, oh yes, and something else again after that. Because what I've been trying to tell you all along is simply that my father, without the slightest doubt, was the most marvellous and exciting father any boy ever had. That's the end. Oh, that was such a nice ending. Lovely. At the back it says, a message to children who have read this book. When you grow up and have children of your own, do please remember something important. A stodgy parent is no fun at all. What a child wants and deserves is a parent who is sparky. Take care. Hope you enjoyed Danny, the Champion of the World. And I'll see you for Charlie. If not tomorrow, maybe on Tuesday. I might have a day off tomorrow. I see how I feel, see if I've recovered a little bit and I've got my sparky back. But take care of yourselves. Look after all your family. Lots of love. Bye, guys.